What's up? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about how Red Dead 2 has actually made GTA 5, GTA Online more popular. Kind of counterintuitive, I know, but I'm Bandit Barney. I bring you everything you need to know about Red Dead 2 and Red Dead Online. And Red Dead 2 has actually made GTA Online more popular. Rockstar's new IP has actually helped their old IP. Now, why is this and what's going on? Well, let's dive into it. Red Dead 2 came out with an amazing story. One of the best that I have ever played, bar none. It's hard to beat. It's just phenomenal. The detail, the voice acting, everything that went into it was just done so well. And then shortly after, they released Red Dead Online. I think it was only a month after the story was released. This actually caused players to go to GTA Online. By adding another IP on top of Red Dead 2's story, right? Red Dead Online is essentially a separate IP for Rockstar. They work on it different. There's different teams for either side of these things. They've pulled their player base from the story to the online by doing this. They took all the players that may have spent extra time, more time inside the Red Dead 2 story, they've now taken them and give them a new interest, which is Red Dead Online. Unfortunately, Red Dead Online was not done even minutely as well as the story was. The story was done so well, and Red Dead Online has been sort of a flop. A beta that they've put out to kind of test things, but it just really seems like they weren't ready to launch it quite yet. Now they are under beta, so you can say, yeah, well, they're doing it in beta to get data and things like that. Okay, fair enough. But this has actually caused players to leave Red Dead 2 and Red Dead Online and start playing GTA Online again. Essentially, Rockstar released Red Dead 2, gaining a bunch of notoriety, and all these players that had probably played GTA 5 in the past and GTA Online were really excited to get to Red Dead 2. A lot of them probably got the game, if not most of them got the game, me being one of them. And when we did get the game, we started playing the story, and then the story ends and we're like, okay, instead of moving on to a different game or keep playing the story over, we start playing online. Sweet. This whole time we're either you could be following Rockstar on Twitter, just getting the nostalgia built up from playing another Rockstar title. And then Rockstar updates GTA Online. Now, it's not uncommon for them to update GTA Online, right? They have been keeping that title alive for years now, years and years. We're now like 5 years out from its release, and they still get title updates. But for the most part, the title updates aren't anything super, I don't want to say super successful, but the title updates had a player base that they were reaching, and outside of that player base, they weren't really hitting anyone. But by Rockstar having Red Dead 2 released, that player base that is paying attention to Rockstar as a developer increased. So when they release an update for GTA 5 Online, it's more effective. More people are listening to what Rockstar is doing, paying attention to what they're doing, and they release an update for GTA 5 like they normally would. But now, because they released their new game and there's more eyes on them, it's been much more effective. Now, this is in proof by, we can actually track the Steam users that play GTA on a daily, monthly, average basis, all right? So we can track how many players are logging in per day, what the peak number of players is, yada. One thing that'd be really interesting for you to know is that GTA 5 was actually the 11th best-selling game in 2018. Hats off to Rockstar for completing such an amazing feat. 5 years after a game's released, being the 11th best sold game in the world it's just like, it's like paranormal. It's unreal how Rockstar has been able to do that. Now, they released this update with everyone's eyes on it, and actually you can see the Steam players that are playing the game, right? And we can use Steam as an average for all consoles, right? I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to use one console platform to see, all right, what's the trend across other consoles? Are people going to be playing more or playing less? I think we can look at one console and say fairly, yeah, it's pretty similar, especially when there's no console specific updates. Now, if there was a Steam specific update, it would make more sense for more players to play on PC and Steam than on other consoles, but it's not a specific console update. So this data for Steam can be used to see the average around for all GTA 5 players, regardless of console. And what we see is that after this title update in December, Arena Wars, the growth on the player on Steam during that month was 29%. They had a 29% increase of players that played due to this update. That's cool and all, and it's not uncommon for there to be a huge spike for players to come to the game in a title update. But what's happened now is that the next month over, they have a 7.5% growth in the average number of players that are playing per month. So December, they grew 29% players, which is common. In December, people are getting GTA and they're playing it, and it's not uncommon for a game to grow its player base in that month. Everyone's getting this game for Christmas and whatnot. In January, however, though, the rare part is seeing with GTA Online that they're getting an increase for 2 months in a row now. We have Christmas and whatnot, and obviously you could look at that and be like, okay, well, Christmas played into this, and people got the game for Christmas and then they kept playing, so that's why you see a growth in January. So what I've done is I've compiled this chart for you, and it points to GTA's Online's big title updates, the growth that month, and then the growth the following month. So we see that in July 24th was their last big title update, right? The big spikes for games in general, I want to get to this, is that you get it in summer and then in the holiday season. Those are the big spikes for players playing games, because that's when a lot of younger people are out of school, have availability to game in the summer, and it's also when a lot of people go out and get games in the holidays. So those are the two areas we see spikes. I've taken the big title updates where we've seen Steam user spikes, right? So last one was the After Hours update, July 24th. We got a 64% increase in the average users during that month. The next month in August, it died down to 15%, which makes kind of sense, right? August is when people are going to start going to school, have less time on their hands. It makes kind of sense, but we're going to see a trend here of updates not having the effectiveness that they just had in this month and last month, December, with this update throughout history when it comes to GTA. Normally, the updates don't have 2-month effectiveness. Before that, December 12th, 2017, the Doomsday update for GTA 5, they had an 86% increase in users. 86%. The next following month, January, they dropped down to negative 0.6% users. They grew negative in growth. That's a 2-month span. Then we have June 13th, 2017, gun running. 40% increase of growth for average users in June. The next month, 1% in July. Pretty stagnant. Import-export update that came December 20th, 2016. 43% growth in December, and then you go to January, 2%. So far, that's 2 times that we've seen updates dropped in December be majorly effective in gaining growth in that singular month, and when it comes over to the second month, there's nothing. It's stagnant or negative growth. Then we have Bikers, October 4th. Now, this is one of the few that we have in October that's kind of right at the beginning of the holiday season, but it was a huge update for GTA, and that grew the player base 33% in October, and then the following month, only 2% in November. Now we jump to where we see actual growth in months back to back. But this is funny because this is one of the few times where GTA has actually done title updates in back-to-back months. And that's why we see when Finance and Felony dropped June 7th, 2016 for GTA, they had a 59% growth in player base, and then in July they had a 12% growth in player base. But that's because in July they dropped Cunning and Stunts, which was the update that allowed for like the supercars that could fly in the air and all these amazing tracks in the air. So then they grew 12% in July with that update, but then again in August they went down to negative 14%. So we're seeing here a trend that updates don't normally create 2-month growth spikes for this game. They just they spike it for 1 month, and then the next month we don't see additional growth in general. Now, the only exception to this that I could track was with the Executives and Criminals title update, December 15th, 2015, 3 years ago. Well, now 4. Almost 4 years ago. In December, they grew 27%, and then in July, they grew 7.1%. 3-4 years ago was the last time that an update for GTA gained traction in month 1 and month 2. Now today, 3-4 years later, we have even more traction in month 2 than we did back then. And that's not because GTA Online has been like this thing that's just getting more and more popular. No, Rockstar released their new title, Red Dead 2, gained a bunch of publicity for being the best game, everything, you know, like #1 seller in 2018 and all that. Everyone's focusing on the title, and then it grows old. It grows old really quickly, and because they show the online, players aren't as interested in replaying the story. At least it's not a common theme as it would have been if there was no online. You'd see a lot more players consistently playing the story, but players are getting bored, and because of the lack of content in Red Dead Online at the moment, all of a sudden people aren't interested in playing Red Dead Online, but Rockstar's got your attention, and they just updated GTA Online. So the update for GTA Online has been majorly effective due to the players playing Red Dead 2, then getting bored of it, and going back to a previous title to see, hey, what are we missing in Red Dead? What's going on here? And whatever reason people have for not playing Red Dead 2 right now, there's lots of them, you know, and clearly a lot of people are still playing, but Red Dead 2 has played a part in making GTA Online popular again. This is the first time in 3 years plus, that GTA Online has put an update out where it has effectively grown the player base 2 months in a row. And that's amazing considering I've talked to a few people, I've talked to a few people, and I haven't played it myself, but they've mentioned that the Arena Wars update isn't like that good of an update. It's not this amazing update, which leaves Red Dead 2 and Rockstar getting all this publicity and attention, being the reason why this update has worked so well in GTA. A title that they released 5 years ago that's still going strong. If you're like me and you're hoping that Red Dead Online gets some more focus, I'm sure it will, but I thought it was very interesting to know, hey, it's crazy. Red Dead 2 is actually making GTA more popular. Thank you guys for checking the video out. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until the next time, we'll catch you later.